Hey, monkey boy. This time I can prove the Israelites weren't black using ChatGPT. Ha!
So that's what we're doing now? Using AI?
What was that? I couldn't hear you over that smoke alarm chirp you people can't hear. Say that again?
Hilarious and original.
Hilarious and original. Hilarious and original. Hilarious and original.
I said, is that what we're doing now? Using AI to prove who the Israelites are?
That's exactly what we're doing, and I'll show you, boy.
Oh, brother.
2 hours later.
Your room still stinks.
Look at how easily ChatGPT debunks everything you chimps have to say. Ha! You was not kings, and you was not Israelites.
If we're going to use AI, then let's at least use an AI that's trained on the Bible without the Masoretic mistranslations or any agendas and actually tells us the truth.
Liar, there's no such thing.
I'll show you. Let's use Israelitebot. Go to Israelitebot.com and ask the same thing.
Fine, but I bet it'll say the same thing as ChatGPT. No! No!
You see? I told you.
No!
And it shows biblical proof.
No! This is preposterous. I hate this website. It's all wrong.
Stop crying.
Your website sucks.
The Rise of Africa, the continent, the diaspora, and BRICS explores the relationships that are affecting the global economy right now. This book explores the relationships of the African diaspora's influence on the African continent and why this is important in stabilizing relationships with an understanding of how BRICS impacts the future, good or bad. You can order your copy of The Rise of Africa today on Amazon.com.
Neo-diplomacy is the new currency. Neo-diplomacy is the new currency. The reason that I can say that is you have a couple of different factors occurring right now as we speak on the world stage. The dollar is being disrupted. Nations are no longer wanting to engage with the United States. But the third factor that affects each and every one of us is that there is a diaspora from the African continent that's willing and able to engage our brothers and sisters on the continent.
Are you constantly working hard, checking off the boxes, yet feel unfulfilled? Doors keep closing, plans fall through, and progress feels forced? These are signs that you might be off course in your kingdom assignment. Join the Unlocking Your Kingdom Assignment Masterclass, where you'll learn to bring clarity to your God-given talents, discover your divine purpose, and take bold steps toward living them out. This isn't just another motivational session, it's a practical, faith-filled guide to aligning your gifts, calling, and season of life with what God has truly designed for you. You'll walk away with clarity, biblical insight, and strategies to move forward with confidence. Don't miss this opportunity to unlock the assignment God has written for you. Registration is open now at no cost to you. Sign up now at the posted website, or you can see the link in my bio. Stay blessed.
Have you ever wondered how you could get out of your dead-end job? Are you frustrated with not having the same opportunities that you are always told when you go to school to get an education and get a job? I'm Karis Copeland, the founder of Copeland Legacy Group and NeoDiplomacy.com. And through my business, I teach other businesses how to make an international impact on behalf of their community. With the work that I've been doing in this community space and combining my MBA with my passion for community, I have been in a position not only to meet dignitaries in other countries, but I've been able to mobilize $250,000 for the benefit of our community. If you would like to learn what I've learned and become a part of what we're doing and building your business and positioning yourself to make money and make an impact, download my $27 class. I'm going to introduce you to one of the biggest opportunities of your generation. Don't miss out on your opportunity to invest in your future today by visiting NeoDiplomacy.com. Shalom, salama, siyemi, shalawam. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you're a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. I welcome you this morning. First of all, I want to say thank you for the super chat or the super sticker from Only 60 Games Played yesterday. We were in the midst of a very good discussion, and I was not able to kind of give the shout outs to the support because your gifts do matter. Your gifts do matter, and I definitely appreciate that. So I wanted to make sure that folks are acknowledged, whether you're supporting via PayPal or Zelle or Cash App. I definitely appreciate you all support. Some things I'm able to acknowledge through Cash App, really PayPal and Zelle, really not so much. But know that your gifts really do make these broadcasts possible. This is not PBS. This is not a public broadcasting service. Nobody here gets any type of federal dollars. And just know, even if I were a black federal contractor, I'd be on the chopping block about now, along with other black federal contractors. Because now every type of, safety net that was established in that political class, which we did have. Look, that was part of the American dream. That was part of the early 90s, the late 80s, early 90s, that I was heavily indoctrinated under for the Cosby shows and the Hillmans and all of these, Fresh Prince that, you can get it, you can touch it, you can, and nothing is an impediment. Nothing was a roadblock, as long as you did everything within the system. Nothing was a roadblock, as long as you served blindly. It didn't matter if something happened to somebody else, just as long as it didn't happen to you. That was the fallacy of selfishness. And I'm sorry, no, it is not selfish to sit back. It isn't. Because for the last couple of generations, the generations that came before us, our family members that came before us, trying to heal this place that refused to be healed, trying to explain to this place a sickness that they did not want to be cured of. I'm sorry. If you're a diabetic and you continue to go to KFC and Popeyes and uh, wherever you want to go, Steak and Shake, Shake Shack, hey, you eat all the Oreos and Chips Ahoy, and you're gonna die. And as you die, you're going to lose your mind, because then what will end up happening, that sugar will destroy your mind. It'll start to destroy your reasoning, your rationale. And all people can do is just see you going into the grave. We're going to keep your family in prayer. Let's be real. Hallelujah. You know, yes, I know this is an outlet. Yes, I know that this is relatively entertaining. Nobody can take that away. But understand that these are real things that's really happening to them, and they're really in a state of panic. I wanted to come into here first because we have been talking about the situation, but the most descriptive understanding that I think we can have is why prophecies come to pass. And people, so we all have, I'm going to say this for a majority of people that are here, that are listening, I'm going to say 95% of the people that are listening, that are listeners, have grown up in church, have grown up in a Bible believing family, have grown up reading the word, have grown up doing their best to adhere to the word. And there was scriptures and verses that was a, well, you read it just to read it, but there is no understanding. And there is no understanding because, quite honestly, we didn't have that understanding. We didn't know. But there was no understanding because it wasn't made for us to understand at that time, because everything had to be revealed in its certain time, in certain order, so then we could start to understand the context. The Most High always provides a context. You don't hate people just to hate people. Well, I hate them because they hate me. It's a little bit more than that. there's a hatred that the Most High has. That's his anger for that nation. I want to explain. That's his anger for a people group. Because if a people group believes in something, then that people group will be judged on their belief system and their value system. All we can say as the children of the prophets is you may want to check yourself on your belief system and your value system, because that system is going to be judged, it's going to be destroyed. You don't hate the individual. The nation is who the Most High hates. And that's the Most High's business. I'm going to give it to you like this. When we take our kids to the park, does anybody ever say to their kids, don't play with that child? Does that come from out of our community? It comes from theirs. But does that really come from out of our community? I don't like you playing with that child. Don't play with them. By and large, our people do not do that. You can give me a 2 if you did that. But by and large, our people don't do that. Our people, our kids, our children, they play with anybody. Anybody and everybody. Who's what? Who's nice to them? Who treats them well? Who respects them? Now, the moment that they get treated disrespectfully, that's when our kids will be like, nah, forget it. I'm out of here. They're not nice. And they get left and they leave them alone. They go play with someone else. But what will our kids do? Our kids will warn them. That's not nice. Our kids will literally say to them, that's not how I want to be treated. Because they have the umption at 2, 3, 4 years old of how they want to be treated and how they treat others, because they know that being nice is something that they've learned. Because why? Because we instill that on them. We will interact with people. And then when we interact with people, we will go through and we will see who will be nice enough to interact or those that will disengage. And for those that disengage, guess what? We don't really do the chasing. We just said, well, that's their problem. And we keep it moving. Now we're here in a time where we have seen that that's their problem. And it's not to say that we haven't said anything. We've told people, we warned people, we've exposed this. And now you have raids and parades happening. Because why? Because they're getting ready to do a false flag. We already know this. Why? Because they can't pay their bills. Why? Because they sold a dream that was a lie based off of debt. And now these countries want their money. We said that. We exposed it. We told you about it. We were telling you about how the Vatican had recouped funds back in what, 2023, to recall funds in 2024. I wonder why. Do you now get it? I wonder why. How do you then transfer land in any type of situation? Yes, this to me is the biggest setup in history of wealth and land transfer that they don't want to call wealth and land transfer. They're just going to call it, quote unquote, World War III. The liquidation of the United States. Real simple. But it's hard for us to understand that because, look, we grew up on a value system. No, I'm going to have the American dream at all costs because that's my inheritance. Is it? Because everyone knows in the back of their minds that there was land and property that was held by some of our generations before us. And guess what? They were not able to hold on to their property. And because they weren't able to hold on to their property, guess what they would do? They wouldn't tell their kids. Hey, we got ran up on out of here. Well, where do we come from? We're just from the South. Oh, okay. Because why? Because that's an embarrassment to be ran off of property that your forefathers, our ancestors, were able to either purchase outright after slavery, were able to have that document entitled given after slavery. Look, it was a legally acquired resource. But then to have it illegally stolen, nobody wants to talk about that. Because why? Because it brings about shame. And we're shamed because you want to know why? Because it truly shows that we do not have any power in our hands to do what? To keep or hold on to anything. Because this is not ours. It was never ours. This American dream was never ours. We just had to be incorporated in there because we couldn't go back to the fields because we were a problem. We couldn't be in the state of chattel slavery because we were a problem. Because folks were now opening up their mouths, and guess what? It wasn't just folks opening up their mouths. It was other countries seeing us do what we were doing. Or excuse me, seeing them treating us terribly. How can you say that you're the freest nation on this earth, but you still had a lot of racial issues? Well, then guess what you do? You show that you have the bootlicks, the onesies, twosies. Hey, look, my Negroes are good. My Negroes are taking care of my Negroes. Oh, yeah, look, their Negroes are good. Well, you know what? Let me go ahead here. I think it's good. And then guess what? As we said, this isn't to demean. I'm not here to demean anybody. That's not my job, but I am going to tell people the truth. They came over to do what? To try to enjoy the American dream that they thought they were going to have access to for several generations. And our people just sat there and looked and said they're going to find out about this thing the very, very, very hard way. Because why? As they were coming on over, they got their little status. They got their little American Express platinum card. They got a little bit of status. Because why? Because they were given that status. Do you realize that they were given everything? Because why? Because that was to put it in our faces that we were going to get nothing. And then they thought that they were somebody because they got propped up by the system. And we told them, no, you all just got propped up by the system. to dangle the carrot in front of our faces that was never going to be ascertained or held for generations. This isn't to hate on everybody, on anybody. It's not. It's to tell people what this system was about, because now they're finding out the hard way of what the system was truly about. No, you can call us lazy as much as you want, but guess what? They'll hire us to get them out of their financial funk. Once they find out how we do things and the key to the success, then guess what they do? Then they throw us away. How many does that have? How many have been affected by that? Because I know that most of us have. Oh, you do it like this, or you work like that? You know, that's the reason I had Sister Patea's video on up. We tend to overlook our value because this last time frame, these last 5 years, was to destroy our confidence. Destruction of confidence. Why? You're not good enough. You're not good enough. That's a lie. I know I'm good enough. That's a lie from the pit of hell. And I rebuke that in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. See, first we have to do, we actually have to declare and rebuke the lies of the enemy. Because why? Because it always says we're not good enough. We're not strong enough. We don't have the financial means. We don't have the wherewithal. We can't get hired, man. Get out of here. Just because they don't want to hire you doesn't mean that the Most High doesn't have anything for you. You better start to put in tune what it is that the Most High is doing for you. Because why? Because pretty soon those curses, and not pretty soon, they have. They can't get jobs overseas. Too late. They can't even hardly travel overseas anymore. Too late. Because if you think about this, if nobody's coming from overseas to come to America, then do you think that they want Americans to come over there? You got to understand things reciprocate, reciprocity. What happens here is happening there. They may not understand that. They may not get it. At this point in time, I don't expect them to get anything. Because in this point in time, it really is a waste of time for me to even explain anything to them. No. This explanation is for our people that are still under the strong delusion of their terrible reality that's happening in front of their faces. And that reality started a couple of years ago. Look, they were already losing their jobs years ago. They just didn't want to say anything because they felt it was a stigma. They're already on massive, massive unemployment. They just felt it was a stigma. And now they started to realize all these jobs on LinkedIn, all these jobs on Indeed, they're all fake. They're fake. And we've been telling them they're fake. So we've been saying that. So what happens when you realize that they're fake? Well, they now have quote unquote issues with, was it Whole Foods or Trader Joe's? One of them, they had a massive attack that they couldn't supply stuff. Okay. Have you noticed that their lies continue to be more like non-believable? Did they buy that? Did they buy that we're having a food shortage problem and we said that it was a hack and this and that? Okay. Gee, do you think that that has something to do with their ICE raids occurring to where all of their stuff is being affected? Let me get into this real quick. You can't show people anymore. Because now we're here. This is Isaiah 13. Isaiah 13, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of kingdoms of nations gathered together, the Lord of hosts, Yahuwah of hosts, mustereth the host of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahuwah, and the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. What is his weapons of indignation? Usually other nations. He will have nations and he will bring nations to do his will. I don't need to go in on a big spiel on that. If you don't have that understanding, then that's really not a problem of mine. Just saying. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahuwah, and the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. How ye, for the day of Yahuwah is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint. Every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of Yahuwah cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. He shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yahuwah of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Gentiles, are you all listening? Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Gentiles, are you listening? Behold, I'll stir up the Medes against them. Gentiles, are you listening? The Medes is that area, China, Russia, and even down to Persia. Which shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they shall not delight in it. That means you can't buy them off. You can't do no type of trade deals. Remember, they did the trade deal. It's still pending approval, but it's the same deal that they've had. It just mean that all that meant was these high prices are staying here on this land forever, and it's going to get even higher. They literally cut off their own nose to spite their face. They fell in their own trap. Isaiah 13 and 18, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Their eyes shall not spare children. I want to read this again. Their eyes shall not spare children. Why is that? Do you not see what they're doing in these other areas of the world? See, there's a reason for this type of indignation. Everything that is being done, everything that is being caused, the Most High is allowing it. Because why? Because they're going to have to eat the fruit of their wickedness. And when they eat that fruit, it's going to be bitter and it's going to be terrible. We've warned you, Gentiles. You all need to listen. Because if you stay here, when all this thing goes down, especially, and I'm talking to our Hebrews, if you think that they're just going to stay away from your property and everything else, and this is my land, and I've had this for generations, and I'm not letting go, or I have my homestead and all this other stuff, you're going to be buried with your land. You are. Now, if you want to do that, hey, that's on you. The Most High said to flee. Look, you have a choice. You have a choice. You can always choose to disobey the Most High's word. That's up to you. But understand what that disobedience means. Understand. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when Yahuwah overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. The mixed people, the mixed multitudes. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. The days shall not be prolonged. These days are not prolonged. Why is that? That was Isaiah 13 we just read. ICE agents chase after farm workers as they flee fields during latest raid in Ventura County. Excuse me. I want to bring this on back to this one right here.
Like early this morning, the farm workers we had a chance to talk to told us ICE agents arrived this morning here right around 6 o'clock in the morning. We don't know how many people.
I want you all to
agents
burn
arrived
this
this morning.
image.
Talk to told us ICE agents arrived this morning here right. Go ahead and show you what it looked like early this morning. The farm workers we had a chance to talk to told us ICE agents.
What does that look like, family? To me, it looks like slave patrol has a new mission. It looks like slave patrol has a new mission. I don't know where law enforcement came from. I think law enforcement, remember all that blah, 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 blah. I don't know what about law enforcement and I do pity them. I do feel sorry for them. But they chose to believe the lie. And now they're running down the trenches. I do. I do. They believe the lie. And now you have them folks, the other side of the folks, the Gentiles that say nothing to see here. They're just illegals. Nothing to see here. They're just illegals. Let me tell you something. Man, I wish Sister Shar was on. Give me a second. Let me try to text this link to her. Let me try to text this. Just say, Brother Karras, what are you doing? I'm doing 50 million things all at once, Brother Karras. So say 50-11 things. I'm doing 50-11 things all at once, Brother Karras. Why are you trying to be bothering me? Because there's a conversation we had last night. She said, listen, she spoke with an immigration attorney quite recently. Do you know that the immigration attorneys tell them? Well, basically, I told her that the immigration system is so broken. Listen to this. The immigration system is so broken that they tell them to come over on their visas that they know they will have to overstay. So then when they get to court, they would then be able to do their citizenship and everything else. They're not expecting them to become a citizen in the prescribed or allotted time frame. Do you hear what that means? These folks are set up to fail because there is no immigration systems. There's no immigration systems at work. You'll eventually have your day in court. You'll eventually have your day in court, but when you have your day in court, you're gonna be you're gonna be overstayed on your visa anyway. So then the question is, then how do you even make it in front of the judge? Therein lies the issue. If they wanted to fix the immigration system, they could have fixed the immigration system. We already know that. Man, that immigration system sure did work. Early 20th century, that immigration system sure did work when they were looking to pander to Scandinavians, and they gave them free land, and they gave them free training of how to farm the land, and they continued to provide farming subsidies. Up until when? Yep, that's right. Up until 4 months ago when Trump killed that. I can't make it. Trump is killing my business. He killed my farm. I was counting on the monies that Biden had apportioned out, and they said it was good. The problem was, I would feel bad for them. Oh, you know what? That's bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. To not have any funds. I get it. You want to know how many government programs I've applied for? You want to know how many grants I've applied for? And I've proven that I can do the work, and I've done good work, and it helps people and everything else. But you know what? Ah, man, I don't get any grants either. Oh, let me also give you a little bit of a case study. Yeah. Remember when you blocked that USDA ruling for black farmers to get paid back the unjust practices? The unjust practices, remember that? Remember you blocked that last year, and then you all were very, very, very happy and content that the black farmers did not receive any federal subsidies. Well, now it seems like the black farmers are doing really well in this system. I haven't heard them complain not one iota. Because you want to know why? Because they never received grants or subsidies. They did celebrate. No, they celebrated. They were happy. Yeah, we took the funds away from them. Yes. The black farmers have been surviving off their bootstraps. It's just Lion Pride had stated. Yep. Thank you for you thinking that you destroyed me, because that curse did not fall on me. It fell on you. What? Because what does the word say? For those that bless Israel, what? Shall be blessed. For those that bless Yasharal, shall be blessed. For those that bless the what? Yahudim shall be blessed. For those that curse Yasharal, for those that curse the Yahudim, guess what? They're going to be cursed. And that curse fell right on them less than a year later. None of us were benefiting from these programs. The ones that did, they knew who they were trying to go after. All their little PPP folks and all the other people. It's real easy to become that paid opposition until they call your number. And USAID never purchased crops from black farmers either. That's Minister Rick. Our toil is something. Excuse me. Our toil is actually a wealth. They thought that they had a wealth on a paper substance. Really, they did. A paper substance that could be taken away quickly. And it did. You have the folks on out here. You have their people on out here. Showing what it meant. See,
morning, the farm workers we had a chance to talk to told us ICE agents arrived this morning here right around 6 o'clock in the morning. We don't know how many people.
Seeing them getting manhandled. Seeing them getting chased and thrown to the ground. And you know, the reality is that as you are looking at this video and these videos, as I had just explained, you don't know if he was going through lawfully. You don't know if they're the next on the list. Because why? Because they may be told, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. Yes, it's going to take a little bit. Yes, you're going to be here on overstayed visas. Yes. There may be some issues. UFW. They're taking innocent people who are trying to build their own American dream. This is not law enforcement. It's a campaign of fear against people whose only crime is living and working in the United States. Oh, okay. Remember, our only crime was being black. Our only crime was being born a black person in America. Remember that? Remember that? What's your crime? My crime is being born a black man in America. My crime is being born a black woman in America. My crime is being in a black negroid melanated skin in America. Oh, you're just making stuff up. Just making stuff up. Until it hit them. Until it hit them. And we were telling them, be careful. This is a setup. All those crowds coming in, it's a setup. Everybody that was crossing, it's a setup. How many of those videos did we see on Teo Ministries when Yacoba was talking about this? It's a setup. 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 Mm. And now you think that we're going to go through here in less than 20, or basically in about 48 hours, in 2 days, and, partake in their foolishness. I'm sorry. We recognize the game. See, you have to understand that as you see the game unfolding, you understand that when they know that you know the game, they don't have time left. They don't have time left. And as they don't have time left, then they want us to be involved in their redemption tour. No, we could do it. You can help us. We can get America back. Wait. Qualify what that means to get America back. Who does that benefit? Who does that benefit? Who did it benefit? I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that, but when we get America back, we're not gonna forget you. We're not gonna forget your contributions. Oh my goodness. Cool. We've heard that for like I don't know. That's probably like the 2000th time that we heard that. We'll believe you this time, right? Sure, sure, right. Nationwide protests loom over Trump's upcoming military parade. Trump warned that protesters at the parade will be met with very big force. He drew no distinction between peaceful and violent protesters. Donald Trump is getting the parade he wanted, showcasing America's military power, but he'll also be getting mass protests exposing the nation's partisan divisions. The tanks and artillery launchers rolling through Washington on Saturday will honor the Army's 250th anniversary, which falls on the day Trump turned 79. About 7,000 soldiers will march. Hundreds of thousands of people are expected to line up along Constitution Avenue on the birthdays and cheer. Trump is set to watch the spectacle from a viewing stand south of the White House. But in Washington and in all 50 states, organizers will be staging protests that could dwarf the parade in size. A coalition of pro-democracy, labor, and liberal activists is arranging a full day of counter-programming to make the case that Trump is hijacking the Army celebration to venerate himself. Well, sounds like that's their problem. I'll be watching with popcorn. Come on out here, black folks, and protest with us. No, thank you. You know what? I would have, but I got that thing. Man, I got that thing. That thing. Oh man, it was that thing. I got that thing. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, that thing. Yeah, that thing. I got that. I already had plans. Now, all of this is happening as now you have Iran saying that they are looking at my bad, just booted myself. Trying to toggle between tabs, and I was on the same tab as my live stream, and you know, technical difficulties. Let me bring this back on up here. Oh, U.S. to pull some personnel. If I can get off the ping pong tables. U.S. to pull some personnel from the Middle East amid rising tensions with Iran. It's by Ahmed Rashid and Daphne Solodakis. Green zone in Baghdad, Iraq. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday U.S. personnel were being moved out of the Middle East because it could be a dangerous place. Vague. I'm going to call him the king of vague. You want to call him no king? No, we call him king of ambiguity, king of vague. Why could it be a dangerous place? It could be a dangerous place. It could be. It could. Adding that the United States would not allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. So is it dangerous because of some actions that may occur? I don't know. Shadowy talk, dark sentences. I didn't say that. Reuters reported earlier on Wednesday that the U.S. is preparing a partial evacuation of its Iraqi embassy and will allow military dependents to leave locations around the Middle East due to heightened security risk in the region, according to U.S. and Iraqi sources. 4 U.S. and 2 Iraqi sources did not say what security risk had prompted the decision, and reports of the potential evacuation pushed up oil prices by more than 4%. A U.S. official said the State Department had authorized voluntary departures from Bahrain and Kuwait. The State Department updated its worldwide travel advisory on Wednesday evening to reflect the U.S. posture. On June 11th, the Department of State ordered the departure of non-emergency U.S. government personnel due to heightened regional tensions. The decision by the U.S. to evacuate some personnel comes at a volatile moment in the region. Why is it a volatile moment in the region? Trump's efforts to reach a nuclear deal with Iran appear to be deadlocked in U.S. Well, it's not really deadlocked. It's actually dead. They want to say deadlock because they don't want to tell you that it's dead. And because it is dead, guess what they're going to do? They're not going to do a missile strike or anything that's obvious. Or maybe they will. They did that with, last year, and Iran didn't respond. They may try to do a cyber attack. They may try to do some sort of a terroristic activity in Tehran. They may try to bring down helicopters, planes, civilian planes, you name it. I don't know what they could be doing. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, young brew. You know, sleeper cells. That's always the easiest thing. Hey, that wasn't me. Until they catch the sleeper cell and it's like, tell us everything or we're gonna go after you. Well, if I tell you anything, I'm gonna, go I'll be dead anyway, and so will my family. And see, Sean, I'm waiting on that too because I really think that anything that they do with the nuclear papers, it's not like to me that's a nothing burger. You know, you already know that they have nuclear weapons. Folks already understand that they have nuclear weapons. So what does that really even do? Ha ha! I got solid proof. And now, if that's the case, and they say, "Hey, we have the proof, and guess what? We need to have nuclear weapons because they got nuclear weapons," and that type of showdown and things of that nature. I mean, to me, it's just some more banter. In my opinion, that just means it's just some more banter. What does that really aim to prove? I don't know. I mean, they were even talking about that Iran wanted the Eastern Mediterranean nation to come up off of their nuclear weapons. They wanted them to get rid of their nuclear weapons program. Now, if they did steal that during the, you know, October 7th attack, then Israel can say, or excuse me, the Eastern Mediterranean nation can say, well, see, Iran was complicit with that. And we told you that that was an Iranian thing. And, they can go through all those motions. This is more the same bickering. So I don't really think people even care. Okay. You exposed a program that many folks probably were mostly aware of. And that's not to be, that's not to be skeptic or harsh or anything else. I mean, it's not to ridicule anything, but it's like, haha, what's the shocker? For us, I guess the shocker is they still believed in that mess. That's the only shocker for us, especially over here in this community. Y'all were believing that they didn't have that man get out of here. But y'all having the most PhDs per capita in the Middle East, y'all some dummies. That to me is and I hate to say it. So sorry, Iran, if you get really mad about what I'm saying. If there's some Iranian agents, but I'm sorry. Y'all the smartest dummies that I've ever seen. Y'all are smart, but y'all are dumb. Have some Iranian agents show up at my door. Mr. Karis, we did not take too kindly to your depiction of us. on your Covenant Awakening podcast. I doubt that they would actually even have the energy to, Y'all wouldn't believe it. After my broadcast, I had Iranian agents here, and they were like, what? Yeah, right. It's like, the smarter you are, it's like the more gullible you are. Gullible. Oh, yeah, no, we're really going to have a deal with you. I swear this time it's really going to happen. It is? It is? I'm sorry, but I would love to be a fly on the wall in those State Department negotiations. I really would. I could see Trump in the Oval Office just laughing his behind off like, these stupid Iranians really think that this is going to happen. We are going to trust you, Donald Trump. We're going to trust you. Oh, my goodness. We are mad now. Because after the 20th time that we have been lied to, we finally are getting it. Okay. If they didn't get it now, they'll never get it. Yeah, Brother Garth, that's exactly what it is. It's Looney Tunes. Wile E. Coyote and the Road Runner. It's Looney Tunes. And they're making themselves a cartoon. Because look, I'm sorry, they made themselves look stupid. This is why we stay home. Because we're not making ourselves look stupid anymore. If we protest, things are going to change. Come on. We got to do something. I can't. I can't breathe. I can't. I can't. Y'all, I can't. Getting all emotional. Sorry. Man, keep your emotions out of this. Uh, uh, uh. Destruction of the black man check. Emotionalization, effeminization. That's who they're waiting on. Oh, they're gonna show up. They're gonna show up in staggering numbers. No, we're not. For those that show up, hey, maybe they need to show up. Good. Good. Let us know who's actually against our community. Good. That's easy for me. Now, I thought we saw you in the protest. Maybe Peter Thiel and Palantir will be able to release that information of the black folks that showed up. All right. Thank you. Oh yeah, no, they were really in there. They had the signs and everything. And they're beating on the drums. They were beating on the little tambourines. Oh yeah, no, yep. And they're going to be the first ones getting thrown in jail. Or they'll be the first ones deleted in this protest. Have you noticed that nobody in these protests have been deleted? Oh, man. What? No deletions? Well, they're not black, so why would we want to delete them? They got batons. They got the little shields. They probably don't even have any type of rounds in their magazines. I guarantee they may not even have lethal rounds. Probably some simulators. I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. Oh, it'll maim. Yeah, Brother Garth. It will maim. It can take an eye out. It will maim. It will mess you up. Did anybody check on the reporter? How is her leg doing? I like to see that big behind bruise that thing left. She probably had an ankle that looked like a basketball. I'm I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That had to have been the broadcast of. I should laugh at that stuff was ignorantly funny. I should laugh. Father, forgive me for laughing at that ignorance. That mess was funny. You just shot an effing reporter. That dude had zero chill about that too. That police officer just dialed in his sights and then boom. Oh yeah, he's an expert rifleman with that badge on that one. I bet you he was like, got him. Oh. No dogs, no fire hoses, no nothing. Get out of here. Kid gloves. That had to have been the video of the century. I'm sorry. It had to have been. At least the year. Maybe the year. Is this what it's going to turn to? Is that what we've become as a people? I don't like it. We got reporters here getting shot with rubber bullets. Lieutenant Dan, I got shot, Lieutenant Dan. I wonder if she was up in LA General, like Australia knows, Sky News, I got shot. Look at this, Sky News. It felt like a little bit of a bee sting. I said, what was that?
I thought first I got bit by a skeeter. I said, what was that? Oh, well, I was trying to report on my friend Alejandro, but I got shot. I didn't think that it was going to be a war zone like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please tarry with my ignorance. It hit me right below the buttocks, in my calf ankle area to be precise. She went out for her job. Look, I'm not doing this to make fun of her. I'm doing this is in reverence. Look, she was on her job. You said, I'm just doing my job. Hey, don't get mad at me.
Understanding of the
Just doing
situation
my
has
job.
now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters.
She even said firing rubber bullets. See, look, he was already taking aim. He was already taking aim.
Moving them on through the heart of LA.
I'm getting you. I'm just doing my job. Crikey's way. Oh my goodness. Babylon down, Babylon down. This reporter right here is still kind of stoic, or it may not have, he's looking, he's like, oh boy. He's like, I'm still taking pictures. They want the provocative. They want the provocative. Because there's a reason I'm going with this. It's not to just it's not just to laugh and joke. It's not. Because the reality is that if she's getting shot, then who else? Who else is next on the target list? Here comes. This is from USA Today. The 1,800 No Kings protests across the country are meant to express frustration over President Trump's actions that organizers say are authoritarian. We covered this earlier. Well, what are they trying to do? They're trying to incite. This is an incitement of a riot. This is an incitement of the different things that they're trying to show. They're trying to incite us. And yes, they try to incite us because they're all over on TikTok saying, they're over on TikTok telling us to get on out there and protest. The workman's comp claim, no question about it. Evidence. You saw me get shot, right? I was on air. Y'all saw that, right? I took a bullet for y'all. It may have been a rubber bullet, but you get what I'm telling you. I bleed for this. I'm about my gangster. Why do you think nobody's coming over to the United States? Oh, before I go, don't let me not be remiss on this one. Excuse me. London-bound Air India flight with more than 240 aboard crashes after takeoff from Ahmedabad, India. An India Air passenger plane bound for London with more than 240 people on board crashed Thursday in India's northwestern city of Ahmedabad, and there were no known survivors. Black smoke billowed from the site where the plane went down in a populated area near the airport in Ahmedabad, a city of more than 5 million, at the capital of Gujarat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's home state. Firefighters doused the smoking wreckage of the plane, which would have been fully loaded with fuel shortly after takeoff, and adjacent multi-story buildings with water. Many charred bodies lay on the ground, and one was carried away on a stretcher by first responders. Wow. I wanted to show something else with this. Oh, they kind of scrubbed the article. They kind of scrubbed the article off. Because there was an article that was kind of explaining that that could have been a Boeing airplane. Let me get this in New York Times. Let me see if this will fit in there. There we go. Here is this one. Because this is really what's going to start getting kind of crazy. Nobody's buying bonds from the U.S. anymore. And really, nobody's going to be buying any goods. Because why? Quality assurance, quality control. There's just the quality just isn't there anymore. Boeing 787 crash brings fresh scrutiny to plane maker's safety record. The accident just weeks after the company cut a deal with the U.S. government to avoid taking criminal responsibility for a pair of deadly crashes in 2018 and 2019. Okay. The crash of a Boeing 787 Dreamliner passenger jet in Western India on Thursday is renewing scrutiny of companies' safety records after a years-long quality crisis. And we just had explained that an Air India passenger plane carrying 242 passengers and crew members that was headed to London crashed in Western India on Thursday. The airline said on social media, Air India said 242 passengers and crew were aboard the plane when it crashed. These included 169 Indians, 53 British, 7 Portuguese, and a Canadian. There was no immediate information about survivors. My question is, why did they still go through with the purchase of these airplanes, and why did you have them in service? Boeing is a U.S. based airplane manufacturer. They better start getting themselves some Airbuses. With the Rolls-Royce engines. They better start getting themselves some planes from Burkina Faso. Or some airplanes from China, exactly. Oh yeah, no, YouTube is seriously blocking this channel. I had this thing up about an hour before. It was about an hour before. And the reason they're blocking this is because of the riots and the protests. And I had the parade pictures and the military transport pictures. Y'all are just finding out what it looks like, what censorship looks like. It's censorship. They're not trying to. They don't hide their censorship anymore. Why? Man, this place has declined. Look, it would have been like, oh, well, we don't do it. No, they do it. Yep. You better start buying some airplanes from Burkina Faso. Captain Ibrahim, President Captain Ibrahim Traore, if you are listening, if if government officials are listening to this program, I'm giving y'all some free media coverage. Y'all can support that with a generous, very, very generous Cash App at $COVAWK1, or with a very, very generous PayPal at or Zelle at Karac at MSN.com. I'll have me an AI deep fake of me on board a Burkina Faso plane with my head hanging out of the plane, talking about ride Faso Air ride. But why not? Honestly, why not? If you have the ingenuity and you have the resources, actually, they have all the raw materials for that. Why not? Now, Burkina Faso needs to do that designing and planning, because don't let us get up on over there, especially if somebody is real ignorant about the plans. Please do not have your planes looking like Soul Plane. Please don't do it. I'm just giving you, Burkina Faso, that word of advice. Please do not have 36-inch rims and hydraulics. Where don't have your pilots to where you can ghost ride the plane. This is the cockpit access, so the pilot can just get up and ghost ride the plane and even walk out with the plane. Burkina Faso. Oh. Do not have exhibit anywhere near you. This is X to the exhibit. Hey, I'm here in Burkina Faso, and I'm going to pimp your plane. Yeah, check it out. Boeing 787 was having problems, but then we brought it here to Burkina Faso, right here in Ouagadougou. And guess what? Y'all been seeing what Ouagadougou's been doing. Look at them gold flaps. Yeah, look at when that thing goes. We have a full lounge bathroom. You ain't gonna be uncomfortable in them small bathrooms on the planes. Nah, we make it real comfortable. We have a Louis Vuitton and Gucci interior with the seats. Extra plush. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know how Kevin Hart's career survived after that one, because that was the most ignorant behind movie. But you know how our people will be. Actually, you know what? I think the quality would be very good. And there's no snakes on that plane. Oh. Burkina Faso Afro beats. Now that would be interesting to see what they can produce in their production scale. That would be really interesting. To see what it is that they'll be able to produce and how they'll produce it. Very interesting. But yeah, these are going to be some stories that we're going to have to take a look at in the near future. And you have to understand, whatever we put our minds to, I may laugh and things of that nature, but you got to understand, whatever we put our minds to and however we put our minds to it, it's actually way better than anything you could even imagine. And yeah, you're right. They're gonna do all this other nonsense and things of that nature. So chances are they'll be flying through the African Union areas, but they won't be flying intercontinentally. And if they fly intercontinentally, it would probably be to like Russia or Asia. I don't think you'll see them in the Americas or European areas. You know that that's true. We'll have a better product. You know they'll have a better product. How many of our engineers are probably on over there working and doing that work, which is pretty awesome and amazing. Now they just need to build an airport. The cost to building an airport, I was in that meeting last year, and they were pitching that cost to building an airport is about 30 billion USD. Because they'd have to not just build the airport, but there's some other infrastructure things that they need to do. They're real intentional. They know the cost. Now, I'm like, thanks for sharing that with us. But none of these black folks here in the African diaspora that I'm aware of None of us here are billionaires. Do we know something that you do you all know something that we don't know? Do you know something that I don't know? I mean, I appreciate that declaration. I am a billionaire. I got money. I got figures and placeholders that's far exceeding 12, 13 figures in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. And that will be released today. I can make those declarations. Hallelujah. I'm not going to limit the Most High. And you know what? The thing is that that's their expectation. And let me tell you, their expectations because they think more highly of us than we actually think about ourselves. If you didn't know that, they think more highly of us than we think of ourselves. That's crazy, isn't it? We want to get our people trained. I do in NeoDiplomacy. I want to get our people trained in leadership and breaking through these generational curses. That's what Sister Fatea is able to bring to the table. These are things that we have to look at because it's us. The only ones that limit us, it's not them, it's us.
Are you constantly working hard, checking off the boxes, yet feel unfulfilled? Doors keep closing, plans fall through, and progress feels forced? These are signs that you might be off course in your kingdom assignment. Join the Unlocking Your Kingdom Assignment Masterclass, where you'll learn to bring clarity to your God-given talents, discover your divine purpose, and take bold steps toward living them out. This isn't just another motivational session, it's practical, faith-filled guide to aligning your gifts, calling, and season of life with what God has truly designed for you. You'll walk away with clarity, biblical insight, and strategies to move forward with confidence. Don't miss this opportunity to unlock the assignment God has written for you. Registration is open now at no cost to you. Sign up now at the posted website, or you can see the link in my bio. Stay blessed.
So that is the master class that Sister Fatea is hosting. Understand that we have to develop one another. You're not going to get that development out there. You want to know what they want to develop you to do? They want to develop you to go and protest on their behalf because they're losing out on the American dream. If that's the development you want, you want to be developed in the cannon fodder. You want to be developed in the bullet sponges. That's what they're saying. That's what they're asking. Because you want to know why? Because they think that you do not have the capacity to have the pride to develop yourself far greater than what they see you as. Isn't that crazy? They only see you as just a tool. They only see you as just a tool. And that's pretty horrible. I posted the link here for the masterclass. See, the problem that we have here in our community is that we truly don't think that we were made for much more. There are people that talk about it, and there are people that walk it out. Hearers and doers of the word. Hearers and doers of the word. And let me tell you this. Don't think that I'm just on up here endorsing something that, well, you know, I'm just endorsing it. No. Because Sister Fatea has been instrumental in a lot of the things that I had been able to develop. She cuts me. She cut me back in January for something. We were talking about something and I got cut, and I'm like, oh man. Yep. I knew what she was talking about. Sometimes when we do get stressed about things, we get in our own ways and we don't realize that we're in our own way. You have to be with a group of people that gives you the pressure to grow. Seeds do not grow when they're just laying on the ground. Seeds have to grow in the environment of being in the ground, feeling that pressure. Do you hear me? Seeds have to grow in the ground as they feel the pressure. You want to know why YouTube hates this message? You want to know why I've been shadow banned and continue to get shadow banned? I'll put these messages on out there. I'll get these notifications on out there, and certain people will see this and not even get to it. Because why? Because this is about developing us as a people. See, YouTube don't care if you see bad news day in and day out. Matter of fact, that's what they want you to do, because they want to develop the idea scary. But when you're allowing people to see what is happening and how to get out of multi-generational bondage, I used to always think, man, I want to break my family curse of this and that. I want to break my family curse of this and that. Father Yah, please help break the family curse. In Yahushua HaMashiach's name, hallelujah. Curse is broken. Well, I prayed, the curse is broken. Yay. No, no, no. That's what we've learned in Eurocentric Christianity. Because when you ask the Most High to help you break the curse, guess what he does? He gives you the tools, he gives you the materials, but you have to do what? You have to make the choice. We're destroyed for what? A lack of knowledge. That's Hosea 4:6. But how do we gain knowledge? You have to be a hearer and doer. You just don't read Proverbs 1-3 and say, yeah, thank you, Father. No, you have to actually do. You have to actually create. You're going to have to fail and you're going to have to get up because it's a process. Falling down and getting up. Falling down and getting up. My NeoDiplomatic Corps cohort. Brother Karras, man, this is a value. Wow. Yeah. Most High's already given me the tools. That's why that NeoDiplomatic Corps cohort is not for the faint of heart. Because I really have to train folks, because I really have to get these engagements to where you are coming in my name in a diplomatic effort. I'm sorry, that happens. Do you know that you just can't become an ambassador? Oh, I want to be an ambassador. Cool. Try that and you become a State Department ambassador for the United States. Get out of here. You get nominated to become an ambassador, and after you become an ambassador, guess what they do? They give you a crash course in terms of training. And guess what? When you get nominated to become an ambassador, you just don't go there the next day. When will the ambassador be in? In less than 2 months. They'll tell you that in less than 2 months. Who do they have? They'll have like the mission. The director of the mission, the office of the mission. To do what? To fill in. Because why? Because that ambassador has to be trained. They have to understand how to carry themselves. They have to understand how to ask the questions. They have to understand how to listen and properly engage. They have to understand the resources that they have in their proposal or at their disposal. They have to understand the people that they have that supports their office. They have to understand their mission and being a pivotal element to support different levels of engagement. Because they are there to ensure that America makes money. That's the primary focus of being an ambassador. To be able to connect our people to the continent. So then they have the means and the resources to connect with businesses on the ground. So then they have the opportunities to make money. They have the opportunities to connect with our brothers and sisters on the continent. But you have to grow into this. I always ask, hey, what have you done within our spaces? Have you done the thy written word? Because after that, I say, hey, then you need to do thy written word. You need to check out Sister Fatea. Because people have to be trained in this. You literally have to deconstruct. And it's hard for us. It's hard for somebody to say, I value you. Because I know you have more value than what anyone else can tell you. Because you're not going to hear it from them. Do you even hear from those that want us to protest that they value us? Do you know what they do? They literally beckon us. You have been summoned. You have been called. Just shut up and get here. You are a property and you are a victual. So now come here and do what we tell you to do. And you know what? Our people will do it because why? Because our people lack that confidence and self-esteem. And yes, that goes for a majority of our people. Yes, it does. Our people have finally gotten the memo to stay out of this because they know who they're going to target, which is us. But our people truly do not understand the level of value that we inherently have. Because why? Because it's never told to us. Do you all know that you actually carry a level of authority when you speak things out and when you do things? Because when you speak out and when you do, guess what that does? Nothing can actually stop you when you say and do and think and move. Nothing stops you. Do you know that the only thing that actually stops you is you? I could have been stopped the other day. I was on a call with Sister Shar. Brother Karras, you need to figure out X, Y, and Z for X, Y, and Z. And I said, Sister Shar, I did. I already presented this last year. And then when Sister Shar heard it, she said, that's amazing. I didn't think it was all that amazing, but I understood there was already mechanisms. I had already thought about the mechanisms, but I have to be sure. And my surety is not myself. My confidence is not myself. My confidence is in the Most High. That as he gives me the assignment to do what needs to be done, that I am then walking and moving and and guess what the Most High will do? He'll start to put people in your way. So then not to get in your way, not to be an obstacle, but he'll start putting people in your path to help you to get to where things need to go. Because why? Because it's not about you, but it's the service that you are bringing to his kingdom. And I know this is hard. So, I'll get the hit piece videos. Brother Karras is trying to actually have us do something because he believes that we're more valued. Yes. Yes. Because make no mistake about it, those Sahel nations, they want us back. Bad. Why doesn't the rest of the nations, why don't they say anything? Because if they wanted to scream out loud how bad they want us back, pew pew pow pow. So they have to say it and do things in very, very ominous ways. See, the problem is the United States, the West, Europe, they know how valuable we are. But they don't want to tell us how valuable we are, because then if we start to know and understand our value, then guess what? That's a level of control that they lose. You can't lose the control. I know this is hard for some people to understand that, and I get it. We've been told that we have no value, which is why they want us to protest. You are a valueless people. That's what they've been told. But they're actually dead wrong. Do you know that we have so much value that they're now coming out and saying we should have listened to them? They were right all along. Is that going to change their mindset? No. They're just now going through the pain, and now they have to admit it. Because why? Because when you're in pain, guess what you're going to do? You're going to start singing like a bird. They don't want to admit who we are. Oh, they're the people that Yahuwah gave into our hands. Because why? Because they disobeyed him. But we're foolish enough to be caught in this position. Do you know that all of these trigger points, these trigger moments of when they do fulfill prophecy, as we read in Isaiah 13 earlier, do you know that that all comes with a level of despair? It all comes with a level of despair. Well, just one day, the birds were chirping, the sky was nice and clear, and I just got up one morning and I just said, you know what? Those Israelites, they need to know who they are. They're the Hebrews here. Those Yahudims, the real ones, they need to know who they are. Yeah. Huh. Glad I got that one off my chest. No. That won't happen. That never happens. It's going to happen, and it will happen, because why? Because they have to go through that level of pain. Even with us, we have to go through that level of pain for us to truly decide, are we valued? Does the Most High value us? Yes, he does. He absolutely does. Do we internalize that within ourselves? Will we spend the time? Will we spend the resources? Will we invest the resources? 27 people here, or excuse me, 200 people here. Have those 200 people, will they invest $27 in NeoDiplomacy.com for the intro to Neo-Diplomacy? Will they invest that time? Will they invest their resource to learn and to understand the basics? Will they see others? Hey, you may want to take a look at this. $27. This is for our community to stand up. Are you investing the time in your children, in your grandchildren? You may want to take a look at this. You may want to sign up for this. You may want to look at this. This is a situation that we're in. I have that written word in the, it's going to be June 18th. Feel free to replay the video to get that information. It's also here in the chat. Sister Fatea is on TikTok with thy written word. You have to invest the time and the resources, because let me tell you, they'll invest the time and the resources to have you destroy yourself. Go ahead, sign up, 6,500 to 1,200, 12,500 supposedly, to go on out there and be a paid demonstrator, protester. Go ahead, sign on up. That's what they're utilizing. They're counting on it. They're, matter of fact, they know that our people are in dire straits here at the moment. So it's real enticing to go on in there, take their money, and then potentially have this system take your life. All for mammon. I'm just saying. They'll pay for that easily. I mean, shoot. Countries are paying 25,000, I believe, for folks to get flown out of the United States to El Salvador. I'm just saying. Don't be caught in their wicked plans or their wicked schemes. Please don't. But with that, I got to get up on out of here, family. Not this week, but about in 2 weeks, I'll do I'll come back on. QTUA Fridays, QTUA discussion Fridays. Getting my voice back. It's been better. Now I'm just trying to get out of this little whatever allergy head cold this thing is. This is just, keep me up in prayer, family. Thank you for supporting Sister Fatea. We have to support our community and talk to folks outside our community. We are here, family. We are scholars. We are academics. We are able to train. And not just that, but we're doers. We're subject matter experts. We are the artisans. We're kingdom builders. And it's time for us to start acting like that. Truly, it is. It is time for us to start acting like it. And if you don't know that you're a kingdom builder, then honestly, that's between you and the Most High. There's nothing I can do about your heart. That's a Most High discussion. That is a Most High discussion. So other than that, I got to get up on out of here. Got to get some phone calls made. You all be blessed. Again, thank you all for your support. So with that said, be blessed, stay safe, and if anything, be led by the Ruach HaKodesh in everything you do. Pray about it and go from there. And sometimes when you pray about it, just sit down and let the Most High lead you and guide you. That's what the Ruach does. And when you do that and you allow him to do that, and let me tell you, when you are obedient to that, guess what? It goes well with you because you're now following in the paths that the Most High has already set for you. Hallelujah. So with that said, family, shalom, salama, sieme, shalom, peace and blessings, Yasharel.